Hello everyone, this is Clucky Power. I'm here to give a basic tutorial on how to play Iron Man in Marvel's Avengers. In the beta, characters are only able to level up to level 15, so I won't go over every ability's effectiveness as I'm not able to test them at this time, but I can give a brief summary on how to play each character. Iron Man is the most mobile of the characters because of his ability to fly. He can take on flyers and ranged enemies with melee or range attacks much easier than a hero like Miss Marvel can. But Iron Man is also able to fight up close due to his great versatility and his skill trees. Iron Man's skill trees are melee, repulsors, lasers, and rockets. Before going into his skill trees, many of Iron Man's skills rely on his supercharged energy bar. This bar is depleted when using his multiple skills, but this bar charges very quickly in a short amount of time. Also, Iron Man's parry relies on the supercharged bar. When parrying, Iron Man will bring up a shield and stun nearby enemies for a follow-up attack. Another way to get up a follow-up attack is to hold the dodge button towards an enemy to jump behind them. Now starting off with Iron Man's melee tree, this tree is all about getting into enemies' faces on the ground or in the air, and either launching them into the air or bringing them back down hard. This tree also has two block breaks in Thruster Uppercut and Power Dive. Thruster Uppercut is what you will use to extend your combo, or just break blocks, and Power Dive is what you will use when wanting to crash down and stun one or more enemies. Next we have the Repulsor skill tree. This tree allows Iron Man to safely shoot faraway enemies and can block break if charged. Repulsors can also be comboed into or used by themselves by pressing the heavy attack button. When doing so, Iron Man will auto-lock onto an enemy and shoot his repulsors until he ends with his heavy finisher. The auto-lock has a surprisingly far distance too, so make use of it to stay out of reach when there are too many enemies. This tree comes with a dodge attack where Iron Man will dodge and shoot, creating some space, and a sprint attack where Iron Man can knock back an enemy with a hard-hitting repulsor blast. Now on to Iron Man's laser tree. Many people will probably remember this gadget from the end of Iron Man 2. This tree has a lot of skills that cause block breaks, and like the repulsors, this tree can be used from far away or close, and can be used to start or to continue combos. When using lasers as range attacks, the laser damage will increase the longer the attack is held. And depending on how you upgrade your lasers, the laser can break blocks and penetrate multiple enemies. The laser is actually a great melee weapon to use too, especially when surrounded, as many of Iron Man's combos involve swinging his lasers around himself, hitting multiple enemies. He even has the Iron Man 2 spin attack which will hit multiple enemies multiple times and cause block breaks. Lastly, the laser tree has a dodge attack which allows Iron Man to dodge and at the same time hit multiple enemies. This tree has a high stun potential which is good for leading into takedowns. Lastly is Iron Man's rocket tree. This tree is focused more on range attacks and blowing up your enemies with a big hit, and lesser emphasis on combos than other skill trees. With this tree, Iron Man can lock onto multiple enemies and send out multiple rockets at once. But he can also tap the heavy button to attack one enemy for a big damaging attack. And like the trees before it, this tree also has a dodge button attack for Iron Man that will hit multiple enemies. Most of Iron Man's rocket skills will break blocks and do high damage at the same time. But there is a cost to this, as rockets can drain Iron Man's supercharged energy very fast if used repeatedly. so be wise when using it. Now that we went over Iron Man's skills, let's go into his heroic abilities. The first one we'll go over is his Unibeam. This ability will pierce through shields and enemies, causing high damage. This is a great move to pull out on the bigger enemies. Next we have Arc Overload. When activated, nearby enemies will be stunned and nearby teammates will become armored. But this ability will also fill up Iron Man's supercharge bar and temporarily grant unlimited energy. Lastly is Iron Man's ultimate ability, the Hulkbuster. When in the Hulkbuster armor, Iron Man is immune to damage. The time he is allowed in the Hulkbuster armor though will decrease when taking damage or attacking. Iron Man can forcibly eject himself out of the Hulk armor to stagger nearby enemies, and he can choose where to place the armor in order to allow other heroes to jump in. This is a great move to use when surrounded by big enemies, as you'll be taking no damage, but be able to deal out big damage of your own. That is the rundown of the skills and heroic abilities we have access to in the beta for Iron Man. I recommend playing Iron Man as a mix between melee and ranged. Iron Man has the versatility and the power to attack on the ground or in the air to keep up the pressure. Iron Man has great hard hitting and stagger inducing attacks while in melee range that are great for single target or multiple targets, but know when to back off when being cornered, like by 3 large mechs, 3 adaptoids, and multiple fodder for instance, and attack from high up in the air or just zoom around the map to find your opening. You're Iron Man, you can fly. Approach enemies while flying using your repulsors, lasers, and rockets to soften them up before going into a combo. While flying, Iron Man's range attacks will have a slight lock-on to help you aim. Lastly, Iron Man should be the first hero to go after flying enemies and ranged enemies. He gets around the map much easier than any of the other heroes in the beta and can attack from farther ranges than someone like Ms. Marvel. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial on how to play Iron Man, and if you did, remember to leave a like and a comment. If you want to see more videos like this, remember to subscribe. I'll be doing tutorials for the other beta characters too, and the other characters when they release. And if you want to watch me live or hang out, come to twitch.tv/cluckypower and check my schedule on Twitch or follow me on Twitter when I'll be live. Both links are in the description below. That's it for now, bye, and thanks for watching.